Let's talk about inequalities. Okay, go ahead and put your phones away, please. No longer flipping around your bottles. Make sure you can land on top.
Well, Mr. Stirrup,
You don't.
we don't even have a name on it.
Okay. I'll be like 30 more. It's your notes, because I'll never collect it.
Oh, so you don't need your name?
Because it's your notes. You know where your notes.
Oh, so I know who they are.
Yes.
They're mine.
All right, so we are in the process of working with linear inequalities. That's the less than and the greater than. So yes, you learned about the alligator. Less than is going to the left. So if it's pointing to the left, it's less than. Both start with an L. Greater than is pointing to the right. G and R go together, right?
Because he wants to eat the bigger number.
Right. So that's where we are starting with today. So we have greater than, less than is definitely things we will work with. You all have seen some sort of greater than or less than. If you've ever been to the grocery store and you realize that the person in front of you on the 10 items or less actually has like 17 items, that's like, you just want to like send them hate emails and stuff like that. But there's going to become a time in your lives that you're going to be trying to rush in and out just to grab one thing, and you got the one guy who not only has more than the allotted amount of items in their grocery cart in the 10 items or less, but they're also paying by check in cash only line, and it just becomes a huge process. So we do the best we can to teach you guys about greater than and less than, so you're not one of those people. I'm just kidding. There's other reasons we teach this, but okay. So warm up. Let's see. I have 7 plus 2 over 3y is equal to 1 over 6y minus 5. So what have we been working with? What operation have we been doing? Go ahead. Yeah, get rid of the fraction. So what do you think I should multiply everything by? Yeah, I like multiplying everything by 6 or 6 over 1. And when we do that, that's going to allow us to eliminate our fractions. So I get 42 here. 3 goes into that twice, so that gives me plus 4y. Why is it 4y, not 2y? Because 2 times 2y, good. And that's going to be equal to 1/6. Okay, that gives me y minus 30.
Yep.
Okay? And then we need to start going through the process of solving it. So I'll subtract y from both sides. Cool. Subtract 42 from both sides. And then I'll divide everything by 3. And see, how many times does 3? 24 times? Okay, so negative 24. So things to note that we've done. We have positive numbers, we have negative numbers. Sometimes we have positive numbers being multiplied times a constant. Sometimes we have negative numbers times a constant. We have to make sure we're carrying our signs throughout. I'd say most errors right now in Algebra 1 are a mathematical sign error, meaning you've done the math correctly, it's just you forget to distribute a negative through, and we talk about that over and over. The problem number 2 here, our big concern here a lot, and this is similar to what we'd have on the test, where on the test they would have said, hey, you're going to combine those 2 together and then distribute the negative 5. That's incorrect. You have to make sure the 3 gets distributed over the parentheses. Right? And then we'll combine any like terms. So it looks like I have a 6a and a 12a on the left side, so that's an 18a. And then negative 17 is equal to negative 17. Add 17 to both sides. I had a gotcha yesterday on the test. Someone got to that point, and then they put, there's no solution.
You can divide by 18.
You can divide by 18. So what is the solution?
0.
0. So is no solution the same thing as 0? No. No solution means there is not a solution. There's not a numeric value you can plug in order to solve it. Okay? So just be careful sometimes when you see a 0 happening. And it's okay that answers come out to 0. That doesn't mean there's not a solution. May I move off of this? Feeling all right?
Just 1 moment.
1 moment. So I have a talent. I think I know you. I think I know you guys well enough at this point that we can. I can show you this talent without you running off too well. I'm going to pick on Steven. Can I pick on you?
Like pick on me, like
Well, not in a bad way. You know, you won't cry or anything. You might run away.
You can pick on me.
Watch.
No.
Ready?
No.
See if you can guess who I'm going to imitate right this second. Hang on.
Oh, hi, Steven. It's me.
Elmo! Steven didn't watch Sesame Street.
I said Elmo.
No, he didn't. You
I
said,
almost said Mickey.
I almost said Mickey.
I didn't.
Oh, no, Mickey's a little different.
It's Mickey.
So.
Hey, it's Mickey.
So now you'll never look at me the same. I'll start wearing a red shirt and you guys think I'm Elmo. Sorry.
Wait,
You're a little scared? It happens.
Say Elmo
Did I play him in Sesame Street? Yeah, I do. That's my side job. I fly back to Philadelphia and, you know, hang out with
Do it
you.
again.
Oh,
What?
Abby, don't even dare.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Do it again. Do it the rest of the
We'll make fun of Abby on this one. Ready? All right, we're moving on. All right, sorry about that. If that changed your whole outlook on me, I apologize. It is recorded, so you can show your folks. Okay, so inequality signs do indeed have the less than and the greater than, but then you also have something added to each of these. So we have one extra sign. So this just means we include the endpoint. This means that we go up to the endpoint, but we also include it. So if you had something like this, if x is greater than 5, that would mean we want values that are bigger than 5, but don't include 5. But if we had something that looked like this, we want values that are larger than 5 as well as 5. So we're starting, you know, this has the starting point of 5. This is, the starting point is just a smidge or a little tiny bit further than 5, but don't include the 5. And that could be some decimal that's a whole bunch of zeros with a 1 after it. You know, so it's just values that are bigger than 5 or values that are equal to 5 and also bigger than 5. So the inequality sign does work two different ways. We do happen to have an equal sign that joins it. It's treated basically the same way except for when we start isolating our variables and we're trying to solve for it.
Wait, doesn't it flip when you like?
We will get there. Get there, sunshine. But good thinking so far. May I move on?
Yes.
Here we go. All right. So we have an open dot versus a solid dot. An open dot versus a solid dot. So if we were to graph these on a number line,
I'm always kind
well, I'm going to try and answer your questions.
Are we still in review?
No, this is kind of algebra.
Because we visited class.
Yeah. Cool. I'm happy to hear that. Okay, so I'm trying to represent each one of these on the number line, how we would do it. So, do I include 4 as an endpoint?
No.
No, why not? What am I missing?
The
Alligator with the
underline.
The under.
underline. Okay, so that means I'm going to have an open dot here. Okay, do I include this endpoint?
No. Yes.
Yes, it has the underline, so it's going to be a solid dot. Okay, and now I'm not finishing the problem yet. I'm just showing you. Do I include the 0? Do I include the 0? No, it doesn't have the underline. Do I include the negative 10? So we have a solid dot. So can everybody see the difference between the open dot and the solid dot because of how the inequality sign is?
No.
So the inequality being this or this, open dot. Got it?
So it's no line.
If I have a line, solid. Okay? So, this is going to happen if it's this, and this is going to happen if it's this. And it looks like an emoji now.
So we
An
can,
emoji with a mouth in the wrong place.
we can just put like negative 10 and then 0. Like we don't have to do like negative 9.
Oh, well, I'm going to show you how we represent that. So now we have to graph these. So Do I want values bigger than 4 or less than 4?
Greater than.
Greater than 4. So are values greater than 4 to the right of 4 or to the left of 4? Our values, so like is 3, 2, 1, 0 is this way, or am I going 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10?
The right.
Yeah. So if I want to represent this graphically, I color our line. So our graph means I have the values that are just bigger than 4 and then everything else that's bigger. I'm not going to include 4. I'm going to be right there real close to it, but I'm going to include everything bigger than it. Okay? What about the next problem? Do I want values bigger than -2 or smaller than -2? And if it's smaller, what are values that are smaller than -2? Give me one number that's smaller than -2. Go ahead.
2.0000.
Say what?
Negative 2.
-2.00. What else is another number that's smaller than -2? -3, -4, -5. Okay? So, but I'm also including the endpoint. We already deciphered that. That's why it's a solid dot. So that's how we represent this on a number line. So we have values that are bigger than or less than. We have values that include the endpoint and values that don't include the endpoint. Next one, I want values that are bigger or smaller than 0. Smaller. So what are values that are smaller than 0? I'll take your ID and your phone, please. So I want less than. Good? Thank you. What about the last one? Do I want values that are bigger than -10 or smaller than -10? Bigger. So what's a value that's bigger than -10? -9 and -8, -7.
99.
Is 0 bigger than -10?
Yes.
Yes. Is 20 bigger than -10?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to go this way. So realize I really only have 2 points written on the number line. You know, I have one showing that I'm to the negative and 0, or 0 to the positive. And then I'm just showing the direction. I'm not writing out from -10, -9, -8, all the way. So the solid line just means you're including all of those points. How do we feel?
Good.
Sweet. Got more. All right. So then, take a look at this. We have, yeah, 2 inequalities. Oh shoot. Oh boy. Yeah, they are chasing each other. Oh no. So hang on. So let's just look at this first part right here. Let's look at that first part right there. -2 is less than x. Let's think about this. -2 is less than x. So what would that, if we were to graph it, just real quick, what would this look like? So I have 0 and I have -2, agree? Open circle, okay, I'm going to go open circle. And this is an artificial problem.
Go to the right.
Go to the right or to the left?
No, to the right.
It eats the bigger number, right? So what's the bigger number? Is x the bigger number or is -2 the bigger? X is. So this is kind of doing this if I were to have this graph. And that would have been just to have this portion right here. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. So then let's take a look at this part. And this part is x is less than 4. So if I were to put this on a number line, is it an open or closed dot? Open dot, we're not including the 4. And am I shading to the left or to the right? To the left. Okay? So now let's think about this. If we put the 2 graphs together, would the -2 to the right and the 4 to the left, would they eventually cross over each other?
Yes.
Okay? So let's think about this. I'm going to make this line here, and I'm going to go -2 right here, and I'm going to put like a 0 right here. I'm going to try and space it as best I can. Does that look like I almost spaced it right?
Yeah.
Okay, everyone feel okay with that? Okay, so let's think about this. The first graph of the -2, it was an open dot here, agree?
Yeah.
And it was shading that way. And I'm just going to put an arrow for right now. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to color it in you. I just want to put that arrow just as a little hint.
Yes.
And then, what about the x is less than 4? What do we know about that?
Open circle left.
Open circle left. Okay? So, do you feel that this has endpoints to it?
Yes.
No.
No.
Or do you think this graph, because of how that's represented, is going to keep going this way forever and ever, and this graph's going to go forever and ever and ever, that, and I'm including
No, they're gonna be in the middle.
they're meeting in the middle. So I'm just going to talk about this middle part here. This is my shaded region. That's all it is right there.
What?
And I have two endpoints that I'm not including them because we only had these signs, right?
So you don't shade an arrow?
I'm not going to, I'm just showing that I have two endpoints at -2 and at 4. I'm not including them because we have just the less than sign, right? And I'm shading in between them. Shading in between them. Okay? Can we go slow again on this next problem? Is that okay?
Yeah, really slow.
Okay. I'm going to extend the page. So I'm going to click there. Okay? So let's take a think about this. So I'm going to break this into two parts. I'm going to break this here. Okay? So I'm going to think about what does this really mean?
Equal to
Do I want values that are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or do I want values that are like -1, -2, -3, -4?
0,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want values. So this is eating my bigger value, right? Okay? So I'm just going to try to draw this out. I know if I have a 0 and say a 1, is it a solid dot or is it a solid dot? Okay. Why is it solid?
There's an underline.
Because there's an underline. And I want values bigger, so I'm going to shade which way? To the right. Okay? So I just took the first part of that problem, and I just wanted to make it look like that. What do we feel? Is that okay?
Well, I have a question.
Talk to me.
So, if the alligator was going the other way, like
Yes.
this, like this,
Yes, I'm with you.
would it be going left?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Cool. Yep. You as well. There you go. All right. So, are we okay with this part?
Yeah. Yes.
Steven, you're right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to take this little part right here. So I'm going to talk about y is less than 10. Okay? So I'm going to create my number line. I know I have 0 here and I have 10 here. And I know it might not be to scale. I'm just making this as a little grid. So is it an open dot at 10 or a closed dot? Open dot. Why is it open dot?
Because there's no equal to.
There's not, you don't have the underline there, right? Okay, so I want values that are smaller than 10. So am I going to the left or to the right? Left. Okay? So this is that's what this one's going to look like so far.
That's
The
okay.
alligator mouths are going
Huh?
the same way. Aren't they?
Well, no, I was showing you how to break it apart. So now I need to now try and put these together in one solid line. Okay?
The
Huh?
alligator mouths are going the same way.
Okay, watch. Ready? Ready? So if I put 0 here and I put 10 here, is that enough for our numbers? I mean, I guess we could put 1, 2, 3 all the way to 10 if we wanted. We put negatives over here if we wanted to. We put 11, 12, 13. I mean, it's all things. So do I have a solid dot or an open dot at 0?
Solid.
Solid. Okay? And which way did I shade on this one?
Right.
To the right. So I'm just going to draw in for right now just to tell us we're going to go that way. Okay? Is that all right? Question.
I just have a question on the alligator mouths.
Uh-huh.
They're going the same way, but why are the arrows going different?
Oh, let me talk about that in a sec. Can I come back to that in a minute? Okay. Let's finish this problem and I'll definitely come back. Yeah, question.
Okay, so for the inequalities, could you just say like the two numbers, the y has to be in between like the two numbers?
Oh, yes, kind of at this point. Yes. 10 is my other point. Solid or open dot?
Open.
Open. And on my original graph, which way did I go? Left.
What? I don't get that.
Well, look here.
Well, yeah, but
I'm just mimicking that, right?
why?
And I'm just mimicking that, right?
Why?
And then watch what's going to happen. Being they're facing each other, I'm just going to shade in between. Huh?
Would you try to answer with saying like the middle is 5 where they meet, or is that
No, I'll show you. All right, so let me try and answer the questions. Hang on. I'm going to get back to your comment second. All right, so see this right here? You feel comfortable with that, me coming down for that?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to do this. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take the whole thing and flip it over.
Why would you do that?
Think about it. What am I doing? I want values that are bigger than 0 and equal to 0.
Oh, that makes sense.
Well, no, I'm just showing you what's happening. And now this one mentally should be fine. It looks like this. Well, what you do on one side, you do the other. So you take the whole thing and just whoop, flip it over. So you're getting the variable, the letter on the left side. I didn't have to flip this one over because it was already that way. So this is saying, hey, I want values greater than or equal to 0. And I want values that are less than 10. Bigger than or equal to 0, less than 10.
So it's like narrowing it down.
So the variable has to be on the outside.
So what they did to shorthand this, they took this, and they're trying to make this short because, having the y happen twice, oh my goodness.
So the variable has to go on the outside.
Yeah, the variable. So all I'm doing here is I'm just getting the variable on the left.
So then what would happen for like number 5 because the variable's in the middle?
Do what?
Or for number 6.
Wait.
No, for
They
number
both had the
5.
variable in the middle, right?
No, just number 5.
Number 5. I could have
Oh, wait, yeah.
I could have flipped this over to do this.
So like it changed the graph that we did?
No, it's the exact same thing. This wants values bigger than -2. Values bigger than -2. To the right. Okay? May I move on? All right. Interval notation. Okay, so this is just another way of representing what we did on the graph. But we're not using the graph. We're using parentheses and square brackets. Okay? Parentheses and square brackets. Okay? So, you want to use a parenthesis when you have this or this. What do they not have?
Underline.
The underline. You want to use a square bracket when you have this or this. It's the same thing, it's just representing it in a little different. Okay? So this one says, hey, I want values greater than 4. So am I going to use a parenthesis? Okay? So I'm going to go 4. And if I want values bigger than 4, is there a lot of numbers bigger than 4 or just like a couple? Infinite amount. So I'm going to use the sideways 8. I'm going to use this, the infinity sign.
Oh, I love that.
Okay? Now, am I ever going to get to infinity?
No.
No. Anytime you use infinity, it has to be a parenthesis as well, because you can't get there. So this means the exact same thing as this. This means the exact same thing. It's just I'm not using a number line. I'm using interval notation to do it. So interval notation uses the parentheses and the square brackets. Okay? So if I am going to infinity, or if I'm going the other way, what's the other way from infinity? Negative infinity. So if I go to negative infinity or start from negative infinity, I've never gotten there.
So it just graphs the same.
So like, look at number 2. Number 2, I want values that are less than or equal to -2. So what are values that are less than -2? Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Oh, my head wasn't
2.
2 and infinity.
Negative infinity. Okay? -10, -80, -8 billion. Okay, so where is this one going? Where are we winding up on this one? Left. What's way left?
Infinity.
No, not infinity.
Negative.
Negative infinity. So I have negative infinity. Okay,
Wait, but wouldn't it be
but
square
where is it
bracket?
starting from?
-2.
Negative 2. Am I including negative 2?
Yes.
Why? How do I know?
It's a square bracket.
It's a square bracket.
Wait, but that's
Wait, I don't get it. Wait, hold on.
Okay, I'm still.
Why is the front?
Why
Why
is
is the
that
front of
infinity like
parenthesis and the
this?
back the bracket?
I can't get all the way to negative infinity.
Why is it?
I'll never get there. So infinity is not going to use ever a square bracket.
Okay.
It's going to be a rounded bracket as far as this goes.
Wait, does it matter
I don't
which
understand that.
Why is
Yeah,
it
because
a circle bracket?
if you did negative 2 first to negative infinity, that means it's going backwards.
Oh.
So you don't have it numerically set right.
Why is the bracket like that on the other side?
Why is it a square bracket?
No, why is the one side a circle and one side a square?
Okay, I can never get to negative infinity. I only get real close to it. So I have to have it as a parenthesis because it's not a number, it's a limit I'm getting to.
You can't ever get to -2.
But then aren't
Oh no, I could get to negative 2. It's a square bracket, I include it.
I'm
So hang on, let's think about what this one looks like as a number line. This one looks like this as a number line. 0, -2, circle, yes? Going this way. What is that way? Negative what? Infinity. So I'm coming from negative infinity. I can't include infinity because I'm never going to get there. I never started really from there. I started real close to it, but I never really got there. And I got to square bracket circle. Okay? No, you're not. All right, so let's think about this one. Let's think about what the graph looks like here. 0, I don't know, -5. Open or close circle?
Open.
Open, going left or right?
Left.
Everybody's okay here, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is way over this way?
Negative infinity.
Infinity, so it has to be a rounded bracket is where we're starting from,
Yeah.
correct? What am I going up to? 0. Am I including 0?
Yeah.
No.
No. It's an open dot. I'm not including 0, so now it's a parenthesis. Because I'm not including it, I don't have the equal part. Yes?
Does it matter if the infinity or the zeros first?
Yes. Because 0 to negative infinity is the incorrect notation. You want to say where it's coming from, where it's going to. And so sometimes, like on the very first one, we were starting at 4, but we're going to infinity. The second one, we started at negative infinity, we're getting up to -2 and including it. The third one, we're starting at negative infinity, getting up to 0, but we don't include it, so it's rounded.
Why is the
So the only brackets only come in is when you have
Wait, so why didn't you put the big bracket
What?
on 0 after 0? Why didn't you put the big bracket?
The square bracket? Because we don't have the equal sign. Equal sign, so this on the bottom of it, or this on the bottom, right here, square. This, round. This, round. Square, square. Okay? It's the new dance.
So if like the infinity is there, then it has to be a circle.
If there's infinity there, that means it'll always be a rounded bracket of where you're either starting from or getting to. Yeah.
So for number 1, doesn't matter if you put infinity first or the 4.
Do what?
Doesn't matter if you put the infinity first.
Because you're not going from infinity to 4, you're going from 4 to infinity. So you want to have it in the order that you're going.
Okay.
Okay? So z is greater than or equal to 10. Are we including -10?
Yes.
Yes. So is it a solid dot?
Yes.
Is it a square bracket at -10?
No.
Yes.
Yes. Solid dot means square bracket. Solid square. Solid square. Both start with S. Solid square. Both start with S.
But they're not solid circles.
Okay? Where am I starting?
I knew.
At -10. Where am I going? Oh, wait. Did I make a mistake?
Going right.
I'm going left.
Because you have to put infinity there.
That's a square bracket. Where am I going to?
Right
On
there.
here.
Where am I going to?
Infinity.
Infinity.
Shouldn't infinity go first?
So I still. Where did I start?
At -10.
negative 10. Good. Where am I going?
To infinity.
So that's to the right of negative 10, correct?
Yeah.
So
That's why I have it written like that.
So anything that goes to the right has to
Is
be
there
written
homework
in
tonight?
second.
Yeah, we'll get there. Yeah.
Wait, so on the right of the parentheses, if you have infinity, it's always anywhere infinity, and then on the left is infinity.
Yep.
Wait,
All right.
hold on.
Hold it on.
Okay, so on 10, wouldn't it be, oh, yeah, never mind.
All right.
The
So I'm going to do this one. See if you can figure this out.
Wait, can we graph that one? Can you graph number 4, please? Wait.
Agree or no?
No. No, there's no.
First off, why are they both parentheses?
no underline.
No underline. Okay? It's not underlined. We're not including the endpoints. And I am going in between 2 and 4. So remember on this one, this could be rewritten to look like this.
That equals
Remember that?
Yeah.
And then this stays as is. So I want values bigger than negative 2, this way. I want values less than 4, this way. Rounded brackets, I'm not including the endpoints.
Wait, can you graph number 4?
Can I graph number 4?
Wait,
Oh, you want this?
wait, so for number 5 is the answer just negative 2.
Is graphing it part of the answer?
No, I'm just showing you. This is number 4. This is number 5.
Is number 5 finished right now?
Yeah, that's done.
You just wrote, okay.
Open. That's number 5. Number 6. Where am I starting?
0,
Where am I going?
10,
Am I including 0?
yes,
Square bracket.
yep,
Am I including 10?
no.
Round bracket.
Why is it
Done.
Wait,
Why
what's
is
the
it
point of this
rounded?
though?
Okay, that's simple.
Wait,
Why is
Well,
it-
this is called interval notation. So it's a way of representing a portion of a graph. You know, algebraically. No tripping out.
It's so confusing.
Okay?
It's
So number 6 looks like this. 0, solid dot. Yes? 10, open dot. Shade in between. I'm shading in between. Solid dot, square. At 0, open dot, 10, shade in between. That's all it is. Oh my goodness.
Wait, so the symbol with the left, you just make your own equation.
We will. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Write the inequality for each. Okay, for problem number 1, am I including the point negative 2?
No. You are
No, I am not. So is it a rounded bracket? Is it a rounded bracket or not?
It is a rounded.
No, it's not.
It's a rounded.
Good. Where am I going to?
Infinity.
So what would the equation be? X is greater than, or do I have an underline?
Oh, negative 2.
No underline.
No underline negative 2.
There you go. That's my equation
Did
right
you put
there.
it the other way?
No. Well, you want to have the variable first unless you make it a compound.
And then
This
the
is not
next one
coming.
is
Oh,
bracket.
okay, gotcha.
So this one, square bracket, going from where?
No, negative 4.
Negative 4, going to where?
Infinity.
Infinity. Rounded bracket is infinity. So X is
X
Greater than or equal to.
negative 4.
negative 4. That's my equation right there.
I don't get it.
I get it.
This is so
All right.
hard.
Okay, next one. Start. Where am I coming from?
Zero. Zero.
Where am I coming from?
Zero.
Negative infinity.
Oh,
Where am I going to?
You
zero.
are going
Wait,
to
where are you going?
Rounded or square?
Square.
rounded.
Rounded.
Wait,
Okay,
hold on.
so I want X to be less than what?
0.
0, that's it.
Oh my
Wait, do
gosh.
we have to write
Wait,
this?
how are you coming
Steven,
from?
you solid?
I have a.
I taught to you today. Everyone else is done, but I taught to you.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
For the, do we have to put the parentheses around these ones? Or
No, I'm just trying to show you what it represents to look like.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't understand.
All right,
Wait, Mr. Shura.
here we go. Hang on, I want to finish. And then I'll get your question. Okay, define a variable and write an inequality in interval notation. So, okay, so for the following situation, also decide if the data are discrete or continuous. So discrete or continuous. Continuous means goes forever. Discrete means it's in between two. Okay, the temperature of cooked chicken needs to be above 165 degrees. So where am I starting?
Above 100.
So I want this. So this is greater than, it needs to be above 165 degrees. So I should go rounded bracket 165 to where?
Continuous.
Infinity.
Infinity. So obviously if you get to chicken to, a couple billion degrees, it's going to go and be gone. Right? But we're just pretending that, we'll get there. Okay? Your bank account cannot go below $50. Your bank account cannot go below $50. Okay? So do you think it can include $50?
Yes.
So I want my bank account to be greater than or equal to $50. Yes?
Yes.
So I'm going to do a square bracket, 50, and I guess we could say we could go to an infinite amount of money. Let's face it, we're not going to get there, but people might have a lot of money. Yeah,
Would you have to put dollars?
I could, but I don't really need. I could put the degree and the dollars here, but I think the problem is to find it. To make the varsity team, you have to run the 100-meter dash in under 11 seconds. So what's the maximum time?
11.
Now, am I going to go to negative infinity?
No.
No. Where am I going to start from?
0.
Why 0?
I don't know.
You're absolutely right. Why?
It's not a negative, not a positive.
Yeah, you're not going to run 100 meters in a negative amount of time, are you? So you're probably going to go from 0 to 11, and it says you need to run it under 11 seconds. So boom, it's there.
So what's
The equation is like that. Okay? The number of people on the elevator cannot exceed 12. Can we have a negative amount of people?
No.
No. So we're going to go from 0 to
112.
12. Can we include 12 people? Yeah, we just can't exceed 12. So your equation would look like this.
Why wouldn't you do negative infinity instead of 0?
Because I can't have negative people on the elevator.
I mean, you
Yeah, you
can.
can. You can have ghosts.
No ghost.
That's so personal.
Who's afraid? No, it's a ghost.
But that's for somebody. It's not a negative person. It's not
All right.
negative.
So, how do we feel? I'm so confused. It's so confusing to me. All right. So don't hold that against me. All right. Your assignment is page 45 / 46.
Mr. Sterling, can I please write this in my...
Yeah. And this is section 2.1.
Yay.
Mr. Sterling, can I put it in my application?
Thanks for asking. You're perfect.
Wait, is that the first page in section 2?
Yep. First page in section 2.
That's just how it goes.
You'll get there. Try it. Try it. Try it. I bet you there is some that you can do. Even if you don't understand 100%, I bet you there's some you could do.
I understand